We've been covering a lot of stories here on Too Strong, and one of the ones that has keep coming up is the story that has to do with Allie Carter. Now, we want to make sure that we get this out so that people understand that our aim here at Too Strong is to help people who are indeed victims. But we also want people to have this one understanding about what we do. We dabble in provable facts. We do talk about conspiracies, but at the end of the day, we don't ever say anything concrete unless we have the truth in our corner. We don't want to say that what Allie is doing or saying is false, but we do have questions for her, and we would love to ask her these questions. We don't want to speculate on them, but we also don't want to say anything about her story until we have concrete evidentiary facts, things that we can say for sure outside of feelings. The goal here is to help. If what she's saying is true, we need to be the ones to get behind and get all these children home from where they're being trafficked right now. We don't want to be the ones to say, "Oh man, we lie. We don't. You just don't want to trust." It's not that. It's not that we don't trust. It's not that we don't believe. It's that we have questions, and I do believe we are allowed to have questions, especially if what we're hearing on multiple different platforms may have some discrepancies. We do believe that Ali has a story to tell. What that story is, we are still not 100% sure. We do want to have a conversation with Ali. How the conversation will happen, we're still not very sure. Ali has given some very disturbing information about her life and what she has been through. And we will be the first to say any child that has to go through that, it's undeserved. It's unwarranted and it's absolutely abhorrent that they would have to go through that. But at the same time, since we are dabbling in something that requires a whole lot of research and time and truth behind it, those things can only be accomplished through questions, not interrogations, questions. And all those questions we have, the only person that can answer them is Ali. Now, being willing to and being able to are two different things. And we're hoping that she's both willing to and able to come tell us the whole story. And be willing, this is the biggest part, be willing for us to ask the questions that we have. Not all of our questions are going to be, what's the best way to say this? Easy to hear or even easy to answer. But there's still questions we have. It is not that we're not willing to help. It is that we want to be able to help in full and properly. And the only way we can do that with is with a full story, the complete story. Because if we don't know, we can't help. And if we can't help, we're at a deficit because there's still children out there hoping to be freed. She's mentioned quite a few of them. And if we can, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, aid that, we will throw ourselves 1 billion% behind it and see to it that these children are brought back to where they belong. And those responsible for it are brought to justice. If you followed Too Strong for any length of time, the one thing I would hope and pray that you've seen from us so far is that we are what you would call defenders of the truth. I would say that that's what our first and foremost mission is, to defend truth. The second mission is to defend those who are defenseless, whether that be by our voice or what we can advocate for or who we can advocate to on their behalf. The situation with Ali is a very complicated one because there are so many moving parts, so many historical documents that we don't have, and so many stories that don't seem to gel. And we're not saying we don't believe them, we're just saying they don't gel. We would love for seeing them to come together, make the puzzle make sense, and at the end of the day, help Ali. We can't do that without her helping us first by coming to speak with us. If you have her ear, if you have her ear in any significant manner, please, please, please reach out to her and let her know this. We have the kinds of questions that most will not ask her, because the questions we have are the ones that will bring even more clarification and light to her situation and would make things even more plain for everyone to follow. We do have a disclaimer. If we do discover there are things that are not truthful, we will have to be the ones to say it. If it's also the case that she does not want to come talk to us, they can't say we didn't offer the hand, the platform, the space, the reasonings. We are offering that right now. We are happy, willing to have that conversation. But please understand this: we seek the truth first. That's first and foremost. And to get there, we have to ask the hard questions. Ali, if you have the patience to sit with us just to work through what questions we do have, trust and believe me, please believe this. We will do whatever is in our power to help you find the justice you deserve. If your story is 100% accurately true and you had gone through the things you've gone through, trust and believe we have the heart to follow through to help you out of it. And we will stop at nothing to make that happen. But we also dabble, like we said, in truth. And that's all we want is the truth. So for those who may think that we are just trying to avoid and we're talking badly about, it isn't that. Please understand it's not that. Our heart is for victims. But there are plenty of occasions where victims are not victims. We are not saying Ali is not one, which is why we would like to talk to her to verify the things that we have questions about. So, again, one final plea. Ali, if you're willing, please give us the time of day, tell us when you're available, and we can have a discussion, have a sit down, have a chat, flesh this thing out, go over things in detail so we can better help. And for those of you who have her ear, please let her know that we've asked for her to show up. Outside of that, we are doing our part. Hopefully, Ali will do hers.